live.
Episode 23 of The Blueprint.
Check your message.
Check your message.
We've got Moose in the building. He's having a few issues on his mobile phone. People trying to message him.
It's always chaos when you're a pensioner.
This brother here, right, I can only describe him as legendary, iconic. He's been around forever. I don't even know when I met you. And I'm talking before Fivers.
Whoa, yeah.
At Roller Express.
Yeah, you're 250 down, 250 at the door when I met you. I think it's just before Roller, Pirate Club.
That's it.
Pirate Club.
And that was at Roller Express?
Yes.
And that was for Finbar?
Finbar.
Wow. So we're talking... We're talking 1991, 92.
That's it.
Just after the Summer of Love. Yeah. Pirate Club, that's right.
I started 1980, I think. Apocalypse Now was my first rave that I did. And you weren't meant to have a mic man there. My brother brought me in. He said, "Oh, come to this acid house thing. It's all right, you know." I said, well, and I'm coming from reggae now, dancehall, blues dance, carnival. So I've gone to this do and I've gone, wow. And just a fog machine, strobe light. And he had a mic input there, so I don't know what it was, the music, something, I could hear words. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do the underneath the control tower and just in and out now and again. In and out. And that was me.
Who taught you how to mic?
The reggae, one turntable. So you got the pause. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, all on, 'cause we got something for you now. Chapter 2.
So you were playing on sound systems?
Yeah. Sound system.
And your style of emceeing and hosting, I mean, we were blessed. I was resident with you at Bar Rumba.
Yeah.
And that we had an amazing time. They'd either give us the graveyard shift or the early shift, but he didn't really care because he knew. And this is what I'm saying. This brother knows my music.
Yeah.
He knows how to play. He knows how to breathe with it, let it go. His famous one is dreaded the controls. I just filmed him off camera. If you've just joined us, I'm sorry we're late. We're 7 minutes late. But the mighty, the legendary, the iconic Moose is in the building. Yeah, this brother here he was emceeing before a lot of the MCs. I mean, you were around the same time as Chalky White.
Chalky White, Hardcore General MC, MC Cool and Deadly, E-Mix. There
was what's his name? The Mauritian fella, MC. He used to do Orange a lot.
Morris, not Morris.
Yeah, Morris. Yeah.
MC. So that's the London lot, because you had your country going on with the things, but
you had Bassman, you had Trigger, you had
and don't forget Rat Pack, always there,
yeah. And Navigator. He came a little bit later.
Navi came after,
Jungle Days, yeah. 93, 94.
Apprenticeship.
Yeah,
Navi served his apprenticeship.
Yeah, because he was in the reggae
along with 5-0. So
yeah. But I remember you got signed to a major, didn't you?
Yeah.
What happened with that? Because you made some bad tunes, and then
what happened was,
and that was the same time as Roller Express.
I was signed to RCA for Nick Raymond. At the time, he had Michelle Gale, Take That, DJ Hype, and me.
See, this brother's a dark horse, you know.
So that was 93, 94. Made a couple of tunes, done some. Fresh was just coming through, so I collabed with Fresh, Bad Company. He was just making his name, so it was. I heard a few little things. He came to Bridge Park. I said I could work with him, and another guy called Gerald. Not the guy called Gerald, another guy. He's like an engineer proper, but he's not in the fame wise. He just did it at home. He had the whole thing, but he loved to make music. He was a AA mechanic, so he was an AA mechanic, and that. What happened with RCA is you've got so much things going on. At that time, I was 9 to 5. I was doing the sound. I was doing all the raves, all the things. So I had too many pies. And what he wanted at that time was, what is that guy who went out with the supermodel, what's her name now? Got all the breasts touched up and everything. He wanted me, though, to be top of the pops, like a General Levy type thing, because he could see that I had but I just wasn't feeling it, my heart. So I just did the tunes, took the kind of money, made the tunes, and just said, you know what, I'm going to stick with the underground, because I have a feeling the longevity is going to be, and so said, so done. It was, you know?
Because you come from analog / dub plate, and you've seen it change a lot. What's your, you know, a man only wears the gold jacket and the gold hat for a man like you.
Come on, mate.
You see this brother here, right? He plays at all of our parties.
I'm waiting for those two.
Yeah. Actually, I think I'm going to get you in fact, you deserve a platinum one.
do.
I've got an injury on my arm.
Stripes
and
as
I
well.
had
Little moose on the side, that would be lovely.
I'm going to get you. Well, you're the same size as me.
Same size as you, son. We haven't changed.
Yeah, we haven't. We haven't at all. Well, I was a little bit heftier back in the day.
Yeah.
I was carrying some weight.
So was I. I was 34 waist.
I'm a 32 now.
No, what? 40, 47, yeah, I was, because I was doing the weights.
Okay.
Because of the boxes, and remember, I come from sound.
Yeah.
I've always got a sound. It's 50,000 watts still in the garage, locked up. I haven't been in there in 30 years.
What?
So, it's just, you know, when we used to do Bridge Park, I used to always do the Champion of Champions, Navigator, Run It Red. They had me on the sound for Paul Ibiza's warehouse party. Remember the one?
What,
yeah, they did so much little
things that
but
you
I haven't
do.
been because this music on this level took off for me. I just kind of sidestepped with the reggae.
Now you've moved in and out of jungle, drum and bass, Goldie's Doos, Our Doos, Moon Dance, Rain Dance, Shred recordings, Bar Rumba. Like you're pretty much the front man for all the styles and everywhere, whether it be Ministry, back to 95 to whatever. Yeah. What does jungle mean to you, blood?
Well, it means everything at the minute. It's been my life. I've not gone on a journey like this in my whole. Even if I started with the reggae, it wasn't as. I could get to Japan, I could get to New Zealand, I could get Australia. It's so worldwide.
I mean, we went on tour with V Recordings. Do you remember we played at Limelight?
That's right.
In fact, I had to confiscate all of their passports and carry the passports because this lot was so messy. And then I'd wake up everyone in the morning. I'd be like a drill sergeant onto the next one. Go. But that's what I'm saying to you. You know the music. When you hear the music, when you MC on my set, when you're part of the system. Yeah. And you're part of what we're doing because you can read it. And we can go up and down. Listen, when we play later on, it's like Navi, it's like all the people that we work with. It's instant that you're reading that we're doing. Yeah. And there's a pause and there's a gap, there's a story, there's a beginning, there's a middle and an end. We've had some amazing nights at Bar Rumba, even with Darrison, Rough Stuff, me, Brian, Frosty, and it don't matter when we're going on because we're going to hurt it so much.
That's right. That's right. There's no peak or difference or a man saying, I'm waiting for this DJ. It's just the same. You carry the same vibe. That's the element of the dance. That's the beauty of the dance and the beauty of working with guys like yourself, Brian, everybody, because they actually know what the crowd feel at that time.
Who's your favourite DJ?
I haven't got a favourite. They're all excellent.
I suppose you've seen it. You've seen it from Ryder.
For mine's sake, if I like to book them, because of the musicality of it. Yeah. You know that. Yeah. For me, is like
Have you emceed with him?
Yeah. I've done mini tours with him, and we've done Basel, a couple of little things, but it's when Danny's ready. It's not when I'm ready.
I hear that because man's got his DRS t-shirt on. I went to go and see DRS the other day. I drove up to Bristol and I watched his live show and I saw him down at the Jazz Cafe. It was banging, brother.
I give him props for that.
Do you know what I mean? Because he was one of the first MCs.
That's what I said. As I said, I had the chance to do that back in when? 80s.
Yeah.
With Nick Raymond and the deal with RCA. So props to him because he's got the creativity and the brain to work it like that.
Yeah. He's brought in a lot of people from Manchester, and I think he was shocked to see me because he was outside and he was like, "It's like, brother, man's driven up from London to see you play today." And he was like, "What?" It's like, I was like, "Listen, he's a great inspiration, especially if you're going to go take it to the next level."
He is a lyrical maestro
of jungle music. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was quite a big decision that you chose not to go the commercial route and roll in the underground route.
Yeah. It was a gamble because I had the chance of making good money, but I just didn't think I was television material. I'm not. To me, the underground has got to remain underground, or else you lose your element of edge. You know, and then if you go on the box, on top of the pops and that, you've got to maintain. So with the element of the underground, you can always keep your identity kind of as a real.
Virgin, you've been well travelled because we did the whole of the States. We did like 4 or 5 parties that year.
Yeah.
That was 1997.
Yeah.
98. I remember we were the first ones to play at Limelight with recordings.
Yeah.
That was amazing, that show.
And there was another show as well. There was another club on the corner opposite the WAG. What was that called? It only went for a little while. It's got a rooftop and all that.
I can't remember.
V did a couple of dances.
I can't remember.
You see.
But yeah, I mean, your span, my God. What's happened to Finbar now?
I'm not sure.
Because you was resident
Sardinia
there.
the last time I saw him.
You was resident there for Pirate Club, and then he changed it to Roller Express, and then he was doing fivers.
Yeah.
Do you remember getting paid in fivers?
Yeah. And then
it looked like a whole heap of money, but it wasn't.
To the boat, the embankment. Remember, he did the embankment parties. That's before all the boat parties, but this boat was moored constantly. There, so Finbar used to do.
And what was the party that you did after that? He was resident at Roast.
Roast, yeah. VIP Champagne Bash. Desert Storm.
Yeah.
Jungle Fever. Is it pure? Not Pure Science. What's the one in Maidstone?
Yeah, I know. It'll come to us. Someone will mention it on Heat.
That's right, Heat. Then there was loads of little fractions. There was Peckham Rye. Where was that?
Yeah, Laser Drum.
Laser Drum. So much. Rocket Holloway Road.
How would you describe the way that you MC?
Just the feeling of the vibe. You try to.
Because you have some lyrics and you're like GQ. You host. You talk to the crowd. You listen to the music, and you're the bridge between the DJ and the music.
Try
and the
to emulate something that the DJ would use your voice to make a track. So that's the closest you can get if you can try and emulate what you would think. Oh, Moose has done a couple of sniblets here. Let's put that in a track. So I'm getting.
Hence L-sides.
That's right.
Because I just heard, because I've been smashing that tune hard to tune.
The dogs.
Yeah, and it works. Because that's you in your element. Is when I hear that. Do you know what I mean? And I just think to myself, wow, my gosh, I'm actually. Do you know, I've been waiting for you to come on the show for a long... Listen, I tried to get you when I was at Radar. I must have tried 3-4 times, but you was working and it was a real hard thing for you to get away.
The 9 to 5, I've got a little bit more space where I could say, Ray.
Yeah.
And because I don't do interviews,
I know, you never did.
I don't do nothing. It's the first
3 years I was on Radar and I couldn't get hold of you.
Yeah, I haven't
was like, you and Fabio and Groove Rider were the only two.
Yeah.
I couldn't get to. But you're here now, and I mean, I know you had some car trouble the last time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? He's going to come over.
Yeah.
I can feel it. And you don't really do interviews.
No,
You're very you're very subtle. Even like on social media, on Instagram. I guess we've all had to learn how to use that in the last couple of years.
Cool.
But you're always I don't know, you're so blessed and humbled. Bridget, if we could bottle you up in a bottle and sell you, that's what we would do, because you're one of the purest brothers out there that I know, that I've worked with. I've never had any issues with you. You just come in, as long as your mic's sorted with your little box.
Your enemy is my friend. Your enemy is my friend.
So, that's what I'm saying. That we have been rolling hard together for plus more than 30 years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. And I see that the music means everything to you. You've played at my dances, and sometimes you've just, if you ain't doing anything else, Moose is just there.
I'm just there.
It's like 2-3 hours, he's just there.
Because the music, it does it for me. It's just a journey. And the sense of what you're going to play something new all the time. Like, I can always know Ray's going to come with something that's, sorry, I was going to swear there. But it's always
we want to deliver, and I think the reason why I do these parties, the reason why Brian does these parties and Frost is we want, and everyone who puts on parties is they want to deliver the true meaning and the true art form of emceeing and DJing to its highest level, with all the flavours. So that could be some liquid man, that could be some jump up man, that could be some jungle man, because I believe it all, some tech man, whether it's male or female. We want them to be evolved. I mean, look, listen, those days at Bar Rumba, Bridging, when me and you was doing the graveyard shift, and I mean, sometimes there'd only be like 50 people, 80 people, but we played right till the end, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes, because they were still drinking.
That's right.
And the vibe. That's how you learn how to DJ. That's how you learn how to MC.
Bar Rumba certainly put the West End on the map on a Thursday night. Most definitely. For drum and bass.
100%. It was another milestone, like Sarah when she did Swerve. And like when Goldie did Blue Note on a Sunday. These were iconic things that. And it's funny that we don't, like, it was a memory now. But bigging up Oliver and Ado, bigging up Brian, bigging up everybody that made that work.
Frosty,
do you know what I mean? Frost, like, Rough Stuff was...
Jordan.
Yeah, Frost Stuff was resident with us as well.
There was, what's his name as well? Botchet and Scarpa.
Yeah, those two, yeah. Sadly, Vinny died.
Yes.
And then there was the next brother who used to work at the record shop. What was his name with the glasses? Steve.
I think, I can't remember. Is it Steve? Little guy.
Yeah. I've forgotten his name now.
I think it's Steve,
Oh, what was his name? Someone will come up in the feed. But Bridging, you have played at you was reading the comments. Oh. You have played at so many parties that I mean,
it's untrue. Remember, I've started back from '88. The Fields, Police and Helicopter. So it's been such.
And you were working at biology for Jarvis.
Oh, that's right. So there's and what was there? Biology. There was another one, Tarquin's Reign. Come on.
Back to me.
The
one with the horse.
Utopia?
Yeah, no, it was called something else.
The only one I didn't get to do was Sunrise. Oh. That's the only one I didn't, on that kind of outside thing, Sunrise.
I think I played Energy, Biology. I don't think I played Sunrise. I did play Tarquin, Weekend World.
That's the one with the big dome.
Madness.
The world's dome.
Do you know what? When we went back to Rage to this Bank Holiday Sunday just gone, I was like, it was an unbelievable feeling to be back in that place. I met the original Ice Pole man, Ash Attack.
Shut up.
Ash used to work in there, and he used to sell the ice poles, and then they used to sell the whistles.
Yeah.
They used to sell all the glowy stuff, and then I think they started to do tape packs. They didn't have CDs then, and that's how far. And I'm talking 88, 89 since I knew Ash. And really and truly, to be fair, he was the first coloured guy I'd seen in the dance that I actually spoke to. Because I came from Colchester. I was with all my brethren, the Brown brothers. Yeah. They were a couple of black guys that I grew up with. Yeah. And their older brother, Andy. But they were the only people of colour that I knew from my town. Do you see what I'm saying? When I come to London, I saw this brother with the locks, and then I saw a few other people, then I see Carl Cox DJing. I was like, okay, right, so this is London. Yeah. And I was almost like, when I came here, I was a bit lost blood. I come from a broken home, and and that jungle fraternity, I think for all of us,
family kind of group.
It kind of replaced the brokenness that was going in from our mums and dads that had come here from the Windrush generation, Jamaica or Mauritius, whether you were Asian, Indian, Chinese, or any to help rebuild this country after the Second World War. There was a lot of disgruntledness and frustration, but we were the babies of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and we were kind of that was the first generation that was pretty broken.
Yeah, it was like our hippie thing because it united all the...
Everybody. 88, 89.
Asian, white, black, Chinese, we're out on the fields, we're all...
And we were one, and that's what broke down the boundaries. What an amazing... And it was so lovely to be in heaven. I used to go there when I was 16 and just be in the arches and be watching upstairs because back then it was the cage. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your brother has moved around a lot as well with you, and especially Goldie, because he used to drive for Goldie, used to be with Goldie. Is he younger than you?
Yeah.
I thought he was older than you.
Everybody thinks that.
That's mad.
He's the youngest one. There's three of us.
Wow. And where did Mum and Dad come from?
Mum is from Jamaica, Dad's from Barbados.
Okay.
So there's a touch of everything there.
I bet the food was wicked.
Well, mate, the food was lovely because you had Jamaican and you got Bajan, so the clash of the two.
Wow.
Lovely.
You good cook, Moose?
I am now, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I can have
What's your favourite dish?
Be curry goat and rice, I think. Just for the process of marinating, leaving it in the fridge, come back, you go, ooh, yeah, man, another day. Leave that for another day. Come back again. And
really?
Yeah.
So you may marinate it for 2 or 3 days?
And a little fish sometimes.
What type of fish?
The tilapia, like the steak kind of.
Okay.
And a little salmon.
You look well, brother.
The rave scene will do it for you, mate, if you pace yourself. Man, don't pace themselves in the thing.
Now, I've got to tell the listeners, this brother can sleep.
Yeah.
I've been on tour to Canada with him, and when he shows me, the forefinger, as if to say, Ray, go and sleep now.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep.
And
Ray.
I'm not waking up until, wake me up when we land. Yeah? Now, that might be a 6 or 8 hour flight. My man, I'm not joking. I know what I'm going to say.
Here we go.
He takes his coat or whatever he's got around him and he puts it over his head like a tent. Yeah? And he's gone. He's out.
Wait,
there's no movement. There's no next little kind of pillow thing. He just sets himself, and that is it. And he will not wake up until that time has expanded. And I'll tell you how I know that is because I've had to leave him in a room and fly home before from America because we couldn't wake him up and I couldn't find anyone to get into the door. I think in the end the security opened the door to wake you up.
Wake me up.
It was the next day. And this guy can sleep 8 hours, 12 hours. How'd you do that?
It's
or is it your body telling you?
I think it's the body.
I have to stop.
Yeah, I think it's the body. And when you used to doing night shifts, because I used to work for the BBC, so I used
Did
to...
you?
Yeah.
Doing what?
Wood Lane, props, and supplying the cameras technical service attendant. So you got to see the television life, which was 12 till 12. And I was still doing the raves as well.
What?
So that's what I'm saying. It's like between, when I said to you I had a record deal, I've been always a 9 to 5er. You never survive
Or a 12 to 12er.
until you make it actually work and you can see the result in money. Then I shifted over, said, oh, I don't need to. But the television life was good. Good. Wood Lane. You know where Wood Lane, the old studio there? And the one on the green. I used to do
where the film met in Ealing.
No, the one on Shepherd's Bush.
Oh, Shepherd's Bush. Okay.
It's like a Shepherd's
Television
Bush
Centre or
theatre.
something.
Yeah,
whatever.
That was Terry Wogan's base, where he used to do the Wogan show.
Did you meet him?
Yeah, because we used to supply all the chairs and cameras, all the equipments. If anything broke down, we had our little room where we're on standby. Hello, can you change over a camera, lights? Very good job to meet different people.
What was he like?
He's a nice guy, humble, you know.
Yeah, he always came across like
there's
that.
There's loads of people. Les Dawson, 2 Ronnies. At that time you're working.
So you grew up with them, watching them.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
I
told you this brother was a dark horse.
Yeah.
I told you this brother. Do you know how long we've been waiting? Personally, how long I've been waiting? I've been waiting like 10 years to interview. And the last time I tried to get him on radar, it was like, yeah, bro, I'm coming. And I just knew he weren't coming anywhere. He wasn't doing anything. But now we've got a little bit more time. Do you know what, brother? I've got to say, if I could give you a lifetime achievement award, I would. Have you got a lifetime achievement award?
Yes, I think I got one from Goldie I've got them put down somewhere. I'll have to bring them out just to show, because I don't really, you know.
Who gave it to you?
I think Goldie did.
What, an award ceremony?
Yeah.
Do you remember what award ceremony it was?
It was in Hammersmith Palais. Is it Hammersmith? Where the Hammersmith Broadway.
Yeah. Oh, that might have been the drum. That might have been.
Ago.
I remember going to that.
And I was quite surprised, because out of the blue, I said, "Oh, I'm sitting there like that," and I said, "Oh, someone must have paid him." You know? I don't know how I got that one.
No, ain't no one paying anyone for that. You have it's out your career. I wish I could do it. This is your life, and invite man in to sit down and talk, because you're.
Man, saying I'm a certified legend. Steady.
You actually are. I would go as far as saying you're of iconic status, because to last that long, Moose, and still be in demand like us, it's something you do it for the love of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the connection. And you're only as good as your last gig. Do you know what I mean? But and it has been difficult. How did you deal with the pandemic?
Wow.
Well, you had your hands busy because you got your little girl.
Yeah.
Sometimes I phone him and he's like, "King, can't answer right now. Doing the little one's dinner."
Yeah. I try to maintain that way, and I thought about coming on the. You know, like what you were doing, the live feeds and that. And I said, I'll do a few. But God willing, I had a few quid still to.
And you were still working,
write.
weren't you?
Yeah, so I was still working at that time. So
really, you were in the same place.
Yeah.
You had structure, and you were one of the lucky ones. But not only that, but you was a frontline worker, because you were looking after people with disabilities.
So that's right.
So that's an amazing. And you must have had a lot of enjoyment from that.
Oh,
that must be the best feeling.
Putting something back, to know that you got to realise that you are blessed, because people out there with challenges that you don't imagine. You know, it makes you open your heart and say,
yeah. And what did they call you?
Moose. But I don't. When I go to the job, I don't say
what you do.
Yeah, I just try and keep.
Where does that? Yeah, this is really interesting. How did you even come up with the name Moose? MC Moose.
I used to have lots of hair back in the day.
Really?
I used to do it in 2 plaits, so it come up like the anklers, something like what Snoop had.
Okay.
And then I just tied it, and I think one of my mates said, "You look like a moose with the antlers," and then I said, "You know what?
That
name. That can run." I think that was in 79, 80. Yeah, it could be, because that's from the reggae days now. Because
now you've been at the very birth of jungle. What was the first tune that you heard? from the rave days to when that tune came in, and then you went bomba ass. This is a game changer.
For me, I think it would be like The Helicopter or something like that, because it was so. There's something in it. It's a very simple tune, but there was something in it. But there's so many tunes.
Almost like the Sounds of Blackness. It had that ghetto kind of tune, because there was a lot of places, like if you went to Marshgate Lane or you went to Wax Club for Telepathy, and you emceed there, that was where man was dropping, shelling dub plates. Second to none. Do you know what? I've got to tell everyone. I done a record store day. Oh, and if everyone's looking at my arm, I've had some acupuncture today because I've got I don't know what's going on, some ligaments in my arm. But anyway, I went to the Chinese doctor and he's did some acupuncture. He's done some coupling, which I've never had before, and so hopefully it'll be fixed in a couple of weeks, so I can get back to my boxing old injury. I wanted to tell you this. I'd done a record store fair in Bristol on Saturday. It was amazing. And I met some guys where I can press up my records on plastic, like dub plates. I met, you know that gig that I told you that I got you, and you're going to play at Corsica Studios? Yeah. That gig, I'm doing a 2-hour dub plate, Ray Keith exclusive, all the old tunes that never came out on that. So I'm just going to be dropping some mad science in the place, and I can't wait. I'm going up to Bristol to cut these plates, and also I'm doing a limited edition run of some dub plates for sale. So I might do 25 of one, or one tune on one side, one tune on the other side, but there'll only ever be 25 of those, and you can only buy them off of me when you see me at the next record store day, which I'm hoping is going to be in London.
Hardcore.
You're an original dub plate man, because I can see you when you play. Your reaction is the same reaction as a DJ. Yeah. So did you used to be a selector?
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes from.
I played from playing DJ, and I was a DJ first, so it's DJ Moose, and then it became MC Moose. So I started Traffic Jam Radio, Time FM, LWR, green something, green light or something radio. I've done a few.
Have you still got all your 7 inches and dub plates?
Majority. I've lost a lot, but in the lockup, there's a world of things.
What are you doing with the sound system, blood?
This year I think.
You're going to pull it out?
Yeah.
And what are you running in there?
50,000 watts. So,
what makes speakers?
I can't remember at the time. I bought so much, like EVs. It was different sound for a different speaker. Every speaker is different from a different company, so I kind of pitched it so I'd have more tannoys on tops, maybe a bit of JBL for the mid kind of bass, and then the bops. There was a guy, I can't remember, he had a speaker, he was out of Acton. Oh man, I can't remember.
Not Function One?
No.
EV?
Before Function
RCA?
One. Before. These guys didn't.
And you designed the scoops?
Together with the carpenter, my guy Russell, who got the sound with.
So explain to me, what have you got? How many bass bins have you got on one side each stack? So let's go on one side of the stack.
If I was going to play out Bridge Park, I put 6 aside. So you had 6 18s that side, 6 18s, 7 tops and mid, 7 mid-range, and then about 6 tops, and then 5 bullets, the bullet pizzas, just to get your clarity.
And what?
MOSFET.
MOSFET?
Yeah, MOSFET.
Amps?
Yeah, MOSFET.
That's original.
Yeah, MOSFET.
You wire up the whole thing?
Yeah. I love that. Start with the tops, just go through your amps, then you start with your mid, then you bring down your bass and volume to each, and then it's lovely. It's the best job you can have. doing sound system.
I've done a few sound system things. I used to have my own lights. You remember them old school lights? They looked like square plugs, and then you had to push them into the lights.
Yeah.
But then they would go into a feed, and then it would actually work with the music.
Yeah.
So the green, red, amber would be all.
Those are the times of the discos, remember?
Yeah,
You just had
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
And then the turntables was all in one.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yes, sir. Citronic decks. Yeah.
Citronics.
Come on. Oh, Garrard. They were still. Listen, if you've just joined us, it's episode 23. I'm so gassed that this brother is in the building right now, because I can't even tell you how much you have been a breath of fresh air. You've been an anchor man. You've been someone when things have gone Pete Tong, you're just there, and you've always, your career has been so consistent and it's been longevity, and I hope and I pray that my career is anything of yours. And you've, like all of us, you play at all the dances, so you can't say, yeah, but I only play over here. This brother plays everywhere. Like two boat party, two private party, and then whatever's going on.
Small, big, it doesn't matter. As long as you're a label and you want a man to try and represent your label, that's what you try to give to that label. So you don't fit into one category. Ray can use me, AKL can use me, Rupture can use me, Metalheads, so many different, and it's all enlightened for your brain, because you know it's another buzz. You're going to hear, wow, these guys they're on the amen. They're not even changing. It's just pure amen all night. And I said, ooh. But they've crafted a sound out of it. So it gives you that, you know? Because it's just like the Acid House. When I started, as I said to you, there was no blacks. Like what you said, Acid House was predominantly a white thing. It was like, and so you have to, as I saw it as something to break down for me, because it worked. A guy was saying, oh, that was a geezer on the mic, wasn't it? And I'm behind the corner like this, hiding in your DJ.
But you've never, even when we were at Roller Express, you weren't really, and even when we done the first very blueprint with Billy Bunter, you weren't on the stage. You was in the corner by where the speaker was. Right. And this brother's not about limelight. No. He's just a voice. And sometimes you might be looking, thinking, well, where's the MC?
That's right.
He's in the corner.
That's the beauty.
That kind of sums you up.
But it's changed now to the front man. You're up front now.
Yeah.
So that's why I always kind of like to, Ray. I'll hide behind Ray, you know?
Yeah, you've been a tremendous inspiration to man. And I'm talking over nearly 40, that's 4 decades, that's 40 years of music,
it will go
brother.
to show for the MCs coming up that you've got longevity. If you do your thing right, you can ride any wave and any year, you can still be relevant. And that's because if you love your craft and you love the people that you work with, you're always going to get on.
Yeah. We love you, brother.
Don't have no enemies.
My arm.
Oh, yeah. So I keep forgetting Ray, you know, when I rough
When I had my tattoo done as well, I saw him, right?
Yeah.
And he kept hugging me. And then he pushes me. And I'm like, Moose, I've just had my tattoo done.
I don't get bookings because I keep doing this to man and giving them the ribs and everything.
Oh, God. Yeah, you do. I wanted to ask you as well, when did you decide to get that box?
That box.
Because you never used to have that box back in the day.
This is not the proper box. The box that I usually have is a Bose. It's an old digital one. It's analog. And I've seen a couple of guys selling it, but because it's analog, it's got a certain hiss. So
when did you start using a box?
The box would be 80, 89.
So since then, you always came with a box?
From the reggae thing. So it always allowed you to have a little flutter over the music with, yes, selector, ta, ta. You know, like if you hear from reggae sax and everything. Yeah. So it came from there.
So who did you used to follow when you was a youth?
As in?
Reggae.
Everybody. Remember, I was sound system, so I played with Saxon. I played with all of the sounds from our area. So it's like Stereograph, Soprano B, Lord Coos, Java, Diamonds. There's so many, you know.
And this
so
is
many
like 10
sounds
years before we even started.
Before we even started Jungle.
I remember one dance that we used to do and we used to play regularly, and that was for George Kelly and Dance Master.
Thunder and Joy, not
Thunder and Joy. And that was a good party. That was a banging party. That
I met
really
the girl
was
who
something.
done Thunder and Joy with him in Sydney. She moved out there. She said, "Oh, I used to do with George Kelly and that." I said, "Well, I couldn't." That was on Groove Riders tour when we did Australia.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of man call for you, bruv, because you're just easy to work with. We've had some great times abroad. Is there anybody who helped you along your way and gave you some breaks that you would like to thank?
Paul Rose, the Rose, because I worked with him carefully from turnmills to craft something, and I was the spokesman for that. Then came Fives, then came Navi, then, you understand, there wasn't hardly a load of man out there, so it allowed certain man with a different craft to
Yeah, big up Paul Rose, because he's still doing
Life FM.
he's still doing a radio, and big up Helen as well.
Yep.
Because they were a great team and they were doing a lot of things, and he's a very blessed brother. Do you know what I mean?
And
brought in a lot of people and still bringing in the youth.
bringing in because the Life FM. So you know, and Mel, big up Mel, salute, happy birthday, Mel. There's who else? There's so many people I can't say thank you to everybody because there's
so
too many
right
that I've befriended now. You know, I try in this game not to have too many enemies. As I said to you, your enemy is my friend, so you keep. It's a lovely feeling. This game, for anybody coming up, if you love the music, just stick with it, keep working. There's always different problems and angles, but just keep true to yourself and keep true to this vibe, and always remember that it was the DJ first before the music.
I hear that. Also, you've got a grown-up son. When I play out sometimes, I see him run behind the decks because you know the man's letting off and he gets excited.
Bad boy DJ.
How is fatherhood treating you now? What's the difference? Because I guess when you get to do it a second or third time round, it's like you got more time. We all made mistakes. We're always working.
Yeah.
But that quality of time, it's like me with my daughters. They're just there now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've got that. And I see these lovely pictures when she's talking. And it's lovely. How is fatherhood treating you?
Well, fatherhood was a blessing because at that time my mum and dad passed, so...
I'm sorry to hear that. That was a very difficult time for you.
That's
I remember
right.
we
and
talked
then,
to you.
yeah, it was a bit...
And it was one after...
So
it was quite consecutive, wasn't
She
it?
came along and
At
it
the
just
right time.
gave you that boost where you're really down, you need something to focus on. And
Now, as they say, though, God says, as one door closes, another one opens. So that was a great opening for you.
Yeah.
That's good. Mose, I can't... Do you know what, bruv? I'm so happy that you've come on the show. Like I said, if I could give you an award, I would. But you don't need any awards. You're actually I would say you're a living award. Because if you come to our dance and you see this brother on the mic, it's a blessing to be around him, with him. He's a music man. He's humble. He loves the music. Do you know what I mean? You'll see him sometimes skanking in the corner.
That's
or
right.
sometimes when I'm playing, he'll look over and he'll give me the eye.
that tune, you know, Ray. That tune.
That, like that. And he's done that so many times. But you know what? That's what we're about. I think even with your emceeing, it's been groundbreaking. It's taken it to a different level.
Yeah.
Out of what you've done and influenced other MCs.
Yeah.
You've had a next generation of MCs come through, whether they were influenced by Gary GQ or either Fats or you, because you were hosts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
and like Conrad. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That kind of DRS. It's a different type of thing.
Yeah.
But you've still got your lyrics and the way you write and how you are. Everyone's got their 16, 24, 36 bars. Do you know what I mean? I'm just gassed that you're here. I'm really looking
Humble.
forward. I'm really. What are they saying? Impossible to imagine the both maybe more than 100 years together.
Oh, I forgot about the garage thing as well. Like they're talking about that La Cosa Nostra and.
And you was
other
there
raves.
as well.
Yeah, because that was the kind of offshot of Rose Stush. I'm still, all of those kind of garage things. So
Carl Tough Enough Brown, Matt Jam
I forgot
Lamont.
I had a little thing in that as well.
Huh?
With Blakey, rest your soul, Blakey,
Oh,
my brethren.
yeah, MC Blakey.
Yes, because we all come, CKP, we all...
And you was
PST,
on
we
that
all-
scene as well.
Yeah. So we've all, you stepped in every pile there is musically to keep.
That's
And
nice.
that started from acid. From reggae to acid to techno to house to jungle. That's how it's been.
Yeah, to garage.
To garage.
And you still do that.
Yeah. Occasionally, if I get the thing, I'm a bit dubious, but when you warm up, you just say, it's just another.
Yeah, especially when they're drawing the bass lines like us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I said, you've played at so many different places, and it has been your career has been unbelievable. And you know what? We're going to do what you do best. I'm going to bust some tunes right for you lot. And Moose is just going to MC and do his thing. He's got his box. We're going to have some water. We're going to have a bit of fun for that last hour. Because it's been a minute since me and you have been doing anything together. Do you know what I mean? And you listen, if you want to book us, then book us. You know? You want to book, like Juice Man, him, Navi, they're on all of our dances because it works so well.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
It just
right.
like when I get these lot, and sometimes they just leave the mic for each other, but it just works. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It just flows because everyone knows where they are. This is episode 23 of The Blueprint. I've got 2 more shows left until the residency ends, which is the end of Series 1. Then we come back with Series 2 in about a month, 6 weeks. But I am so happy, my brother, that you are here.
Yeah.
Anyone else you want to say thank you to? Any family members?
They know I love them. That's all.
That's all. You see what I'm saying? See how humble this brother is. We're going to do what we do best. I'm going to bust 2 tune. Let's move these chairs out to
What
the
is it?
side of the
Kemi's
black-
anniversary as well, isn't
Yeah,
it?
let's pick up. Yeah, big shout out to Goldie.
Oh.
I think it was yesterday that.
Skibber as well.
Of course.
Forget
R.I.P.
Skibber, you know.
Yeah.
I was in
When
a
was
car.
the first time you met him?
I was in a car, I think it was 96, with Darker, and he's put on this CD and that, and I goes, who's this guy? I said, I'm listening, but there's something there, you know. This guy's going to go, he's going to take off, boss, because there's a different flow about it. It's fast. It's not as what I would cup of tea at the minute, because I'm talking when it just come.
Yeah, well, that was when Skipper and Shabba were doing MC convention. They kind of branched off to do their own
Well, they
thing
was
with Paul.
all at telepathy.
Yeah,
the little
and that
corner
was the
ones.
duo
That's
because
right.
that's where I first met them. Shabba said to me the other day when I saw him, he said, "Ray, I was 13 then." I said, "What?"
That's what
he
I'm
was
saying.
13, bruv. That means I was only 22 or 24. So them men were just youths. And then I remember Skipper coming through Cool School. And then obviously you were already at Cool.
Yeah.
So it was just a natural progression. Do you know
I
what I mean?
listened to one of the Ragga Twins when they was doing a memorial show. I think it was on Rinse or something. And he said, Skibber used to work at the bar in Astoria and used to watch from the thing and said, that's what I want to do. I want to...
What?
Yeah, that's what I couldn't believe when I heard one of the Ragga Twins was saying that. And I said, "Bro, look at that.
How
Man
we came through the
Came
ranks.
through the raves and then worked it.
R.I.P. to Skipper.
R.I.P. Skibbs, my brother.
R.I.P.
God
Kemi,
bless
which was
him.
1999
Kemi.
now, which was it's
Stevie.
like when I saw it online yesterday, I was like, wow, it's just a shock to the system.
Yeah.
Even Marcus Intellects,
Yeah.
he played a lot at Bar Rumbo. He used to work
Yes.
with a lot with Brian. He used to book us up in Manchester. We used to go there, and it's been a tough few years. Even when we lost Stevie, and I remember when I saw him, I was one of the last ones to see him come out of Coco, which is used to be in Camden.
Yeah.
What was it called? Camden Palace.
Yeah.
So I saw him at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was off when. No, I was doing 5 to 6. He'd just come out.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Raw."
The last time I saw Stevie was in Japan. We did a dance in Japan, and I had the door knock. Stevie said, "Oh, Moose, I know you got a." I said, "Stevie, come on, mate." And he said, "No, Moose, I know." So he's coming, and we've had a reason, and we're talking, and I said, "Oh," he said, "Some good things are happening for me. I got a record deal, Moose, everything."
That's right.
I
He
said,
got signed. He got signed to the independent label that Bob Marley was signed on.
That's right.
And we were talking about doing some production for his album because
That's
he was
right.
just getting his
That's
album
right.
sorted.
So I was the same thing. I said,
You was
Stevie,
already signed.
That's right. So I could. He said, "Come in," and I was telling him the thing, and I said, "Boy, careful what you do, Steve, because you're gifted to do that, but the longevity of the box to the street is two different things. The street will always be pirate radio, but they can switch you off. They can't switch you off on the street because..."
That's a good analogy.
And then we took it on board. He said, "Oh, all right, lovely, Moose." We had a little powwow, blah. I said, "I'll see you at Camden Palace." It was our moon dance.
That's right. And that's
And then when I got back, he said, "Stevie," I said, "Shut up, I was just with him last night, reasoning."
life's too short, brother.
God bless you, soldier.
Well, we're gonna do what we do best. We're gonna bust
Try
some
it,
tune. You've got some water there. I've got
Try
some
it,
water
team.
here, and I'm gonna go in.
Oh, Chris Andrews Alloys, I got you, son.
Oh yeah, come on, Chris Bomber Andrews.
Yeah, come on, son. I got you.